my life is cursed and blessed in the highest regards. This video is, of course, another triggering one. I mean, every single video is triggering because I do like to talk about these really, really deep, horrifying topics. So the usual trigger warning is probably like child exploitation, suicide, everything else. Just the video just contains triggering content. I just proceed at your own caution, and it's somewhat of a chaotic vent. It's me trying to make sense of things again. But of course, all of these things are important. With all of these videos, I only upload things that I feel are truly, truly important. Let's get into it, I guess. It's pretty heavy. I'm sorry. I had written this down, and I was like, and then rereading it again as I'm ready to record and talk about it. It's like, oh my gosh, it's just heavy for me. So there's something dark. No one wants to talk about it. My best friend is being served the eating disorder content online. Now, I can watch as this happens, powerless, as my loving, good friend, as their mental health is just chipped away. I want to understand why this content pops up. Like, why? Why does this happen? And so we're jumping between topics here, as we usually do, as I do with these videos, but it's like, I saw code words, certain code words be used for commoditizing children before the Epstein Island tragedy. Before that got very popular. So I saw some of this stuff firsthand online. And I was always pissed that these kinds of stories, like the Island story, they get very popular instead of the equally insane nightmares that I was being exposed to. I struggled with that for a long time, was just these problems. Seeing the evil, and then only seeing like one tiny little part of it just kind of be spoken about. I still have this problem in many different ways, honestly. So yes, it's evil. Sorry, video's heavy. Yes, it's evil. It's incomprehensibly evil. That's why we're paralyzed to do anything about it most of the time. Think of political instability, scary technology progress like AI and drones and unregulated tech and child predators and environmental destruction, whatever you want to say. But it's also creepy. Something about this is just so fucking creepy and disturbing. The ways different problems pop up. Like, when I finally recognized the evil of factory farming, like it had taken some build up, I guess, like just seeing little signs here and there of the fact that we might be living in kind of an evil system here with our food, terrifying cruelty. Or when I see a family member or a friend who has been through hell as a child, and then you just suddenly learn about it. It's like, what the fuck? Hello? What the fuck? Or also remembering maybe a strange gore video. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like you can search it up, but like remembering a gore video that I may have seen when I was younger. These problems, they show up as fast as nightmares, and then they just head straight to the subconscious to be brought out a different day. The creepiness of it all. It's like the comparison I put here is like someone telling a fun story, like a scary story about, say, a cryptid or something. And then the story just ends up being about like a weird abomination that just dismembers animals and dismembers dogs. Like wow, I just realized like at this point I'm just throwing in unnecessarily triggering mentions of like horrible things here. But yeah, if you can understand, like this just it creeps me out. It's disgusting. It's demoralizing, of course, but it's just there's just something strange about it where it's like, to me, like, this is just the evidence of the evil in the world. And of course, my whole like life now is just recognizing all of this evil at once and then like trying to do something about it, trying to do multiple things about it my whole life. If it's not in service to ending injustice, then it's just not a life worth living, probably. So it's creepy, all of this, but it's also uncomfortable. It makes me fundamentally uncomfortable with bringing new life into this world in any of the ways that people can do that. You don't want to know me. I give shallow responses to people when we're having an in-person conversation, not online usually. It's easier online, of course. You can imagine why. I give these shallow responses because all I really want to do is dive into this heavy burden. Like, why is there eating disorder content? It's like a rabbit hole in and of itself. There's so many rabbit holes. We all know rabbit holes. We've all been down like rabbit holes or whatever. Like, we know that they're unhealthy and everything. But then when it starts to dip into your real life, when it starts to just take from you, oh my God, this is all I want to talk about. But giving myself some credit, though, I always just try to listen first, like during conversations. And I just try to help people instead of like talking about my own stuff right away. Like there's a time and a place for me to talk. I'm not very good at it when the time does come for me to talk during a conversation in person. You know, I'm not good. I feel like I don't have enough time to practice it, because giving myself credit here is like I try to live like a lifestyle where like you care about ending exploitation, right? Like, and so that would entail like trying to have compassion around the people, compassion with the people around me, which doesn't always come naturally, by the way. And then just being in service to them, being in service to your local community. It's an intuitively good thing as you restructure. I mean, it comes naturally to most people, right? Like, especially like fathers and parental type figures in our society. But it's just like, you know, it's part of the great work. I think of it, right? It's like, it's part of the great work of ending injustice. That's my goal. I have ambitious videos and projects and conversations that I'd like to make going into the future about that. Because the story doesn't stop at like the creepiness and like the dreadful like sorrow and like misery. I'm so happy I'm in like a decent state of mind right now where I can look at the script for the video and just like talk about it without being completely emotionally attached to it, because I'm in a better mood, right? But it's like, it's an actual nightmare, but it's not where the story ends. Thank God. Oh my goodness. Thank you for listening to this, by the way. The only the only line of thought that makes any sense to me is to think about all of this all at once. Every single problem as one giant beast or complex dragon to face. It's my habit of grandiosity, but also it's my need for a true understanding of the problems here in a world where information is hard to comprehend. It's not that the information isn't really there, it's just that it's hard to comprehend. When we see facts laid out in front of us, we're just like, okay, what the fuck do I do? I've struggled with this a lot too, because I've tried to lay out. I've had a website, EndCE, End Child Exploitation, endce.org, dedicated to just like laying out facts for like parents, and like it doesn't necessarily always work. Like, you know, if we had all the facts, it's just very hard. It's hard to make sense of information. So this is my need to understand in this world where information is hard to comprehend, and these individual problems, they become little confusing little puzzle pieces, of which we're only supposed to take one and work on it slowly in our lifetime. And it makes sense. It's a good strategy. Like, focus on a lane of work when trying to solve the great problems of our time. It makes sense. But with me, right, and people like me, that's who I represent here, I am disturbed. I am pissed off, quite frankly. And I'm deeply hurt at just the fundamentals here, like the basics. That's why I can't. I mean, there's a whole story. There's a whole, like, I think on wherever I'm posting this, there's just like hours and hours of content about like why why I'm hurt at the fundamentals of life, why I've had to take 20 gigantic steps back from life. I am hateful of life if I cannot see the meta big scale level of society truly progressing in the war against injustice, which is, as I think of it, it's our great shared work. I always say that. It's our great shared work. It's ending injustice, especially injustice pertaining to children. I saw a video, it's really nice, from Dr. Hilary Agro, PhD, who, I mean, she basically just said, like, a truly healthy society is the one that protects its children. We do this to a great extent. I'm really proud of. I mean, I was just thinking today, like, as I was trying to brainstorm for an ideal society, as the problems of our time were weighing on me as usual, I was like, well, holy shit! Like, think about like 500 years ago, we've come eons worth of progress from like barbaric times. Like, we did good. If we think about like us as just Homo sapiens in a universe that is not necessarily organized by a divine creator or whatever, like we did pretty damn good, I would say, so far. We need to do a lot better, right? I feel this in my bones. Right? But when I'm in a really good mood, I can feel that we've done incredibly as a society. But to be clear, though, I am upset by every injustice. All of them. All of them. No exceptions. There probably is not an exception of injustice that I am not upset by. I consider this a strength. I consider it a sort of integrated level of thinking where I understand differences to some extent, right? I understand differences of thought and sensibilities and worldviews among different people. I'm not great at it, and I hold a lot of tension for certain groups of people. I'll be honest with you. I hold a lot of tension for Christians and parents. That's just like the big groups. Obviously, I hold tension for so many smaller groups, people who abuse, people who exploit non-vegans. I hold so much tension. It's insane. Oh my god. But even an argument between strangers, just it's the fact to me that we would be living in a world where like people have to argue at all, and it's just every little thing kind of breaks my heart. I'm very soft, very very emotional in a lot of these ways where it's like, you know, I'm strong to some extent, but I'm also just fucking I'm weak here. I'm weak. I'm soft and I'm sensitive to the problems. Because every small little problem, especially those ones that you feel when you witness them, right? Those are the stronger ones. They all just they hurt you. They make you wonder why you live in this kind of world, and then everything starts to melt together as it usually does with me. As one great problem, but also, so basically, in other words, if I witness an argument, just like a tiny little argument, it breaks my heart because it's reflective of the wider inability for us to communicate with one another across ideological divides to then end exploitation, which is the greatest urgency and the greatest calling from God that we could ever hope to have. Really, probably. I mean, it's baked into the religions too, to try to end child exploitation. Something in the Bible, I don't know the quote because I don't need to, but it's like, whoever leads these kids astray, it's better for him to have a stone tied around his neck and then for him to be thrown into the ocean. Every miscommunication and act of selfishness is its own tragedy. This may actually help me be more compassionate, since I see the injustice that the, quote, dumbass on the incorrect side of the argument, I see the injustice, and I kind of feel it to some extent that they are experiencing. Even if they're like a dumbass leftist or whoever you want to paint as a dumbass. There's many different dumbasses out there. I would even argue that maybe you are a dumbass, and I would even be so brave as to posit the notion that I am a dumbass. Fucking people are stupid. Like, it's insane, like the progress that we've made, but then like the societal progress that we've made, where we've made this incredible coherent, semi-coherent infrastructure, legal, physical, technological, to prevent injustice, right? It's very smart on so many levels, but then it's just like we can't we just get dense in our thinking, and we just get all emotional, and then we just hate each other, and then like a lot of this falls apart, and then like the talented people who are really gifted, who are going to change the world, like they just get sucked into whatever the fucking addictions and problems of our times are. Like, fuck this shit. I fucking hate this shit. So, if I cannot have a completely healthy world, then I must despair. Okay, I'll just despair then. I'll just despair. Because if I cannot have a healthy world, I'll just despair. That's fine. But I'm going to be sad, right? Like, it's unavoidable. I will suffer for every day that we do not have the coherence that we could otherwise have if we just bounded together, decided this was our shared work, and this is just what I believe will change the world. Like, I basically just wrote this in like my manifesto, which I did make into a video, but it's like the thing that I believe would change the world here is like if we just kind of write it on our heart or on like a bracelet or both, right? The fact that like this is a shared work, and we should strive for a sort of purity in aiming for this, and we should realize that other people are working towards this in a way that makes sense to them. Some people are anti-natalist tech engineers, and other people are parents, loving parents who are like, yes, I want to have a child, I want to raise them to care about God and virtue, and I want to have like a gun closet, like, and I want to be prepared to defend them, right? It's like these different sensibilities. Some people are like super just incredible with technology. They're the engineers of our world. They make this insane shit. Some people are just so fucking passionate about like art as a means to end exploitation. I have a whole entire map over here which outlines all the different, like, not all the different archetypes, but there's the different kinds of people in the different battlefields that we face in our world. There's people like Daniel Mackler and Haley McNamara and Ryan Montgomery and just all of these incredible people with incredible different views of how we're going to solve this problem, all of which matter. Every problem matters. There has to be a hierarchy, I guess, to some extent. I mean, I'm just ranting at this point, but it's like every problem matters. Everything does. So this need to understand all exploitation, it threw me off. I'll admit it fucking threw me off. My life path is changed because of it. My life purpose has been defined in a way, and I will never be the same. I'll never be the same. Today, not today, but as I was writing this, I remembered just how much comfort I get from building my own life as a stronghold something that stands against all of this evil in every possible way. This is why I believe it's important to have an integrated approach where we know vaguely about all the problems that we might face in society, so that we can then apply that to our own life, where like we're doing everything in our life as a generalist, but also picking a lane of work. So in other words, we are conscious about how our climate and fossil fuel footprint will affect communities and human and animal communities and ecosystems. So we're conscious of that, so we recycle, but we also build locally resilient and sovereign food and sustainability systems. And we do this as a baseline. We don't do this as our central work, but if you adopt the lifestyle that I am sort of speaking about here, you do these things as a baseline. You do the widespread like live sustainably, live kindly, don't buy new clothes unless you know where they're coming from, like just everything, right? Everything, fucking everything. You write about things. I mean, that's more on the work side of it, like if you were to pick a lane of work. But then yeah, exactly, like you pick a lane of work. Like everybody has a lane of work that is really calling to them. There's a guy, Easton J. Thompson. He like writes he writes books about like justice against child predators, and like it's nice. It appeals to most people. It's really nice. I think it's nice because to me it signifies exactly what I'm talking about, which is the anti-exploitation culture. So yeah, it's comforting. It's like I build my life in a way where it's like I'm a stronghold. Like I am a stone in the storm. Like this is what God probably wanted. I don't believe in God necessarily. I'm very skeptical. I'm very hurt religiously, you know, and the usual, right? And it's like but this is probably what God would want. So it's like this is the calling. It's your personal conviction. So if you don't believe in God necessarily, there's still a voice in your head most of the time that's like, hey, we got to do things a certain way. Like you should probably write this down. You should probably text this to somebody. You should probably go tell your friend about this before it gets too out of hand. That's your personal conviction talking to you. It's very important that we listen to that voice. In Christianity, it's called conviction from the Holy Spirit. But in normal words, it's just called like your personal, like the little voice in your head. Like I don't exactly know, but it's universal. That's the point here. So, quote, hide under the wing of God. This is what one of my friends said to me some time ago, and it's where we started out with a horrifying, creepy problem. Absolutely terrifying. Truly terrifying. I'm not, as I've said, I'm not fully attached to the content of these words right now. I'm just reading them. I'm just reading them essentially, but it's terrifying. And if I were to fully grasp it, I would be overwhelmed entirely, and I'd probably cry if I fully grasped it right now instead of having some kind of dissonance. But we started out with that, and then it's like, this is my life purpose now. This is my life path. But it's like we're slowly getting to a healthy place here. We're getting healthier and healthier as the video goes on, I feel like. But now, like, we know the life that we must live, and we must be a stronghold. And then from there, it's like, hide under the wing of God. Don't hide under the wing of addiction. In other words, do not hide under the wing of addiction. Don't hide in addiction. There's no use in that. Hide under the wing of God. Because there's something to be said about faith, where if we are doing things out of faith that things will get better, that's an incredibly strong stance to have. Of course, with me, you might know me by now. I can't rely just on faith. I need ambition too. But it's like, when your ambition burns out and you just want to like maybe do drugs, maybe like just do something addictive. Just give up a little bit. You want to just give up. You want to just maybe just like forget about your morals for a second. Maybe like go buy some sugar from the store, or maybe go buy like a bunch of comfort snacks, or like more on the worst end of the spectrum is like you buy drugs or whatever, right? And we're all escaping from something. Period. Everybody in the world is traumatized, I would say, right? In some way, everybody's been violated in some way, shape, or form. So we're escaping. We're escaping, but I would say, no, my friend said this. I didn't say this. This was a long time ago. I was struggling deeply with Christianity, and my friend just said, hide under the wing of God. And it stuck with me. It stuck with me. Also, something I always fucking say when I make these videos is like small, insignificant, tiny, tiny, tiny little actions that we do in our day-to-day lives, they matter. They fucking matter. And this is proof of it right here. Is like I remembered this very simple sentence. Hide under the wing of God. Don't hide under addiction. Don't hide under falseness. Don't hide under grandiosity. That's what I do. I like to hide in grandiosity. I like to seek refuge in it. I like to feel grandiose feelings of God. Like, and I don't even believe in God. It's so funny, right? It's so funny. But I like to imagine God coming down to earth mightily with a sword and fucking tramping down on all the evil and fucking throwing Satan into an abyss. Like, I know this sounds like kind of crazy and out and far out there or whatever. I'm a practical person. I'm not like deeply religious or insane. I'm not really that insane. I'm just fucking passionate about ending injustice. That's all it is. So I hide under the wing of God, and I like to speak about this sacred calling that we hear in the silence. This calling that we may actually be here on earth to end injustice. Because we all have this vulnerability, we all have this shared humanity, and we must figure out a way for it to work out. So maybe this is our life purpose here. In my personal and social life, personal and social, not existential, I don't know the meaning of life, but in these two aspects, I feel purpose, a deep sense of life purpose, and for me, that is enough. That is enough of a life purpose. I don't need to know all the answers of the universe, but I do need to feel a sense of purpose in being directionally correct towards ending child exploitation and injustice in our world in a grounded and practical way. Wow, I'm proud of that. I really just explained that quite well in one sentence. Wow. I'm very happy with that. A deep sense of convicted purpose that keeps me around, keeps me here on life. My life is both blessed and cursed in the highest, indeed. Thank you for watching this. I hope this means something to you. I'm also open to like questions and thoughts and criticisms, but also stories from people, and also friendships. I'm trying to make some relationships with people who would truly align with me, who understand what I speak of here, who want to go on the same life path. So thank you for watching this.